Hello and welcome back. We are on day 45 of the 365-day Learn How to Draw challenge that we gave ourselves. And I just want to apologize for not being here yesterday and then showing up today when I said I wouldn't be showing up today and I would stream yesterday. Something came up and it just ended up being better that I just do a late stream today instead of skipping today. So that's what happened. We are moving forward. We are going to get into, as the description says, proportions today, how to draw in proportions. I'm going to follow the model from the video, which was a shoe, just because the measurements are already there. So it kind of takes off a little bit of time that way since I'm just doing it so late. This is also a more serious drawing, so it's going to be a more quiet of a stream while I'm drawing than it has been, just because I haven't done this technique before, so I don't know how it's going to go, and I just want to concentrate on that. I think I might have found a solution for the stream and getting some music, but it's going to take a little bit longer than I was expecting. So please be patient with me. I'm also working on another solution. I've got a couple of different things in the works, but it is going to take a little bit longer. So I am sorry for that. Also, I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm not trying to do mountains. I'm just trying to do nice little arches over here. I am also going to be, I think, changing the setup of the stream a little bit. Kind of was watching some videos on how to do this better. So I haven't been able to put anything into place yet, but it should be coming out this weekend. Hopefully, if everything goes the way that I'm planning it to, but everyone knows plans all just go, they don't happen. You can plan for absolutely everything, and then it's just like, nope. So we'll see what I'm able to actually accomplish this weekend. And then there was also a storm yesterday, and as nice as it sounded in here while it was going on, I'm not exactly sure how it would have sounded through the microphone. That was another thing where it's just like, yeah, let's just do late stream tonight. So that's what's happening. Give me a second. I'm getting this. I don't know how to change this. Maybe this is how you change it. I don't know how to change that. I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't know what that does. Sorry. Yeah, I was getting a warning and I just wanted to make sure everything's good, but I don't know how to make it better, but it doesn't really seem that bad, so I'm not quite sure if I need to change it. It's okay. So we're gonna do proportions, which is essentially using something in the drawing and then using that as a measurement. So for instance, if I was to draw where is it? I like to use this one because, yeah. So if I were to draw, nope, this isn't the one. Where is it? Here it is. This is what I'm looking for. So if I were to try to draw this, what I would do is, this is essentially just two of these. So what I would do on the paper, right, is mark where this is. So mark here and here, and then mark here and here, and that would be like the length of the thing. And it would help me draw within those marks to make sure I was, what's the term? To make sure I was drawing it correctly. Now, on the other hand, I've been reading in the book lessons in classical drawing at the Atelier, I think is what it's called, or something similar to that title. I don't have the book right in front of me because I was reading it, so it's back where I was reading it. I'm not exactly sure where that was because I had it in multiple places today. So I'm gonna have to go find it. I think it might be in the kitchen. I could be wrong. It could be in my room too. No, might be in the kitchen. But what am I getting at? Oh, so with that book, it says the first thing you should be doing is tracing a art piece, and that's how you start learning how to draw, is by using the lines and the strokes of a past or current master, and just focusing on how they're doing it and learning that way. So it's an interesting, and it goes into a little bit more detail, and I'll probably, as I get better understanding, because I didn't finish that reading about that lesson. I'd finished the background and foundations, what was going into. I think we talked about it last stream about how the first part of the drawing is classical drawing is essentially using lots of different lines, right? You've got your horizontal line, your vertical line, your diagonal line, and your other diagonals. Like, those are the 4 lines that are used everywhere. Then it also talks about a curved line, right? So this gives the picture its structure, this gives it its fluidity. And basically these are like the main strokes that you're going to be using in absolutely everything. So the first part of drawing comes with what is the line that all the other piece is working off of. So sometimes you got that line, sometimes it's because it was focusing more on the shapes earlier in the foundation, so it's like where I think it was the romantic drawings. I'll use whatever this is, the swirl. Other pieces will use a circle, like when you've got like a main focus figure here, and then you've got all these other focuses around it. Like, this is the main focus, is the circle. Then for some reason the rabbit, and I have no idea why it was the rabbit, but the rabbit was within a triangle, right? Because it was hunched up on its hindquarters and then had its face, but it was like all in the, and see how it kind of like makes it all flow. So that's what it was talking about. And then from there, it went into these shapes and how these shapes are really important. And I got into that a little bit. So then, the first lesson, so once you got that basic foundational knowledge, the first lesson was take out a tracing paper. So what you do is you take out the copy of the masterpiece that you're going to trace, and then you put a tracing paper on top of that. And the first step is to look, if there was only one line to describe or to work from the whole paperwork, what is that line? And you start with that line. And that's the first lesson. And I haven't completely finished the lesson. That was like the beginning of the first lesson. Mostly because I also said, hey, you're going to trace. And I was like, okay, first let's finish up what we're doing. And then we're going to jump into the classical lessons, because the type of sculpting that I want to do is classical sculpting. So I'm going to need to know how to classically draw to get to that classical sculpting. So that's kind of where we're going to go. And then I also got so there's 3 books that I'm going to be trying to get and working off of. Basically, like that's the progression. We do the lessons, then there's these all 3 of those books kind of like feed off of one another. So while I'm working on the lessons, I'll also be able to work with the other 2 books. So once we get there, we'll be able to work on those 3. And then once I get with those 3, there's an anatomy book that I'll either be able to work in conjunction with the other 3 books, or once we work through those 3 books, I'll then be able to work with this book. So I'm really, really, really excited. I'm so glad that I was able to find these books and just get into this. And I didn't think I would actually enjoy drawing as much as I do. I knew I liked sculpting. Like I said, I'd been playing with clay and stuff in elementary school and everything like that, because our art program allowed us to do that. And then I had a couple electives that allowed me to work with these different kinds of I guess sculpting areas. And so it's kind of opened up this whole new world that I didn't really know existed. And I'm not making good circles because I'm focusing more on what is all around, and I'm like just excited. And I really hope that the first idea that I have goes through, because I think it's just going to be an amazingly wonderful thing that we can listen to while we're doing this. But if it doesn't work, I do have a second thing that's not as good, but it'll at least work, and it'll be better than these silences. And then on top of all of this other stuff, I was watching the videos to help me better do these streamings, so they're not as boring, and I get a little bit more engagement, which will be good because I really, really, really will need the critique from you guys, and that's really what I'm hoping I'm able to get by streaming these. So, not there yet, but getting there. Moving forward. I know we've been doing this. When was the first video? I'm just curious. Like, how long have we actually been doing this for? I hope I didn't just... No, I didn't. Okay, cool. I think... We've been doing this for about a month. Okay, cool. A little over a month. Which is not bad. Is not bad at all. Where am I? Okay, cool. Here we go. So that's pretty neat. Oh, my circles are... Alright, I'm gonna go into a little bit more. There we go. Smaller. I'm just too excited because I just found out about all of this stuff yesterday, in terms of like the drying and stuff, because I was really able to just focus on reading for a little bit, which was really nice. And now I've just got so many ideas pouring through my head, and I haven't been able to write them all down yet. So I'm like trying to keep them in my mind, so it's keeping me excited about all these things that we could be working on. And it kind of helps also streamline everything else that I'm trying to like put into what we're doing, and it's making my hands so jittery. This is gonna be a great first attempt on drawing a shoe in proportion with itself. It's okay. I think no, I didn't draw on the sketchbook yesterday at all. Okay, so we're gonna have to. I really need to make sure that if I'm not drawing here, I do draw in the sketchbook, because I I do get rusty when I just don't draw for a day, which is really interesting. So, like I said, I really want to eventually make this the main thing I do. It's just not possible right now. So this is kind of a once everything's done, hurry up and just stop by, work on something real quick, and then head out and do other things. I really would like this to become a major focus. So, I think that's it on the circles for right now. So I hope everyone's having a good week. For everyone in the United States, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, oh my gosh, next week is Thanksgiving, and I'm not really sure what we're gonna do this year for it. So it kind like I know it's at the end of the month, so it's actually a lot. It's further away than normal, but it just seems like I'm not prepared for it. I'm not ready for it to be almost Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm in the United States, and oh no, and so I just don't know what to do with it or what's going on. It just seems like this year's just rushing by for some reason. I don't know why. It's like I normally love decorating for Halloween, and I like doing all these things for Halloween, and I didn't do anything. I barely even noticed that it was Halloween, even though Austria was like, yeah, we have all these things going on right around Halloween, and we like did so many Halloween activities. It just was like I couldn't outside of the activities, it was just like personally at home couldn't do anything. Like we didn't do any real arts and crafts. I didn't do any cooking, which again, like cooking's not my forte, so that's not something I normally do, but I normally decorate the house and stuff, and I didn't even do that. This is kind of, I don't know, not disappointing, because it was really cool and it was really fun, and we did other things that we normally don't do, but now it's like rush to Thanksgiving, and I'm like, I'm not ready to do Thanksgiving. So I don't know. It's it's a weird year. I think we came up with a game plan for next year, but that's for next year. So it's like we'll be ready for next year, but definitely not this year. And I feel bad too because my husband kind of hasn't really had normal holidays since he met me, and it would be nice just to be able to like just have a normal routine to the year. Growing up, that's kind of what I had, and I kind of just expected it. And now that I'm the adult and I'm the one at home in charge of all of it, it's kind of like, hold it, how do you do this? It's a lot harder than my mom made it seem. Or even like the rest of the family too, because it was something that like everyone was able to put together and make this big like family thing. It just seemed easy. But I guess that's how bad I was paying attention. Apparently, I didn't pay attention to anything as a kid, if this is all shocking me now. So, I guess what I'm saying is enjoy your childhood if any kids stumbles upon this stream. Do not wish to be an adult too soon. It's kind of like I've been watching I have the first two seasons of Lois and Clark, the one with Dean Cain, the TV show. And in one of the episodes, these kids are given, or they take these like pills that make them really, really smart. And it, like, this effects of the pills wear off, and they like turn back into kids. And Dean Cain, who plays Superman, they kind of blackmail him, and he has to figure out who they are and how to help them essentially, because he's not going to do what they say, because I think they say they ask him to like steal something or something like that. And so he finds out who they are. He ends up helping them out, and then he takes the pills away, but they're all upset because they're like, if you take them away, we're going to become dumb again and we're not going to be able to do any of the things. And it was like, but that's like, you guys are kids, you have to be kids. And they go to him and they're like, well, would you go back to being a kid? And he's like, no, but that's because I was a kid. I'm now an adult. He's like, you guys need to be kids before you, like, so then you can become adults. I'm pretty sure he said it a lot better than I did because, you know, these guys are professional writers and I'm not. So, yeah. My point is like enjoy where you are. Don't try to think about where you were or where you're going to be. And other than like as an abstract idea, right? Not an abstract, but like as an idea. Like I want to be this type of a person, and it's like, okay, what are the steps you need to be for that type of a person? But like that's not needed when you're a kid. When you're a kid, just enjoy being a kid. You can be like, oh, I want to be a well disciplined person, or like a person with ethics and morals, and then it's like, okay, cool, like, yeah, definitely work on like the discipline. You can definitely work on discipline as a kid, but that's also to the help of your parents too. So yeah, not like in the best position to be giving advice like that, other than like this is what I've heard on the internet, because I don't know if we can consider the writers who wrote Lois and Clark to be great philosophers, right? But it was just a cool saying, and it resonates because it's like, oh yeah, you definitely have to be a kid. Like everyone is a kid before they're an adult. So I forgot where I was with that point. Oh yeah, me thinking that I had wasted my child, not wasted my childhood, but just that I was way too oblivious to things as a child. But that could just be the fun of being a child. This isn't stuff that you necessarily have to be aware of. It's okay not to be aware of it because you're a kid. Within reason. Like, you don't want to be too oblivious that if somebody's like literally right there needs your help and you're able to provide it, because there's some things kids can do. They can get into small spaces and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, like you don't really have to plan activities because it's kind of what your parents do, or your older siblings, or your grandparents, or like who's ever like the one in charge. It's like, yep, you just follow along. Like that's what your role is as a kid. But then you eventually go into the role of the one who has to do the planning and the preparing, which is where I am, and I am not used to it. So it's like a lot of learning. But I like how the Black Friday deals are already out because those deals are awesome. And I might be able to get the 3 books sooner rather than later because of the Black Friday deals that are a week early, which is awesome. And yes, the Lego song came into my head, but I'm not going to sing it because my singing is terrible, and I'm pretty sure that would count as having copyrighted music on stream. So it's just not happening. But I hope me just talking about it got it stuck in everyone's heads. Because I don't think it gets out very well. So it'll just be something that's in the back of your heads while you're watching the stream, which is better than the silence or me babbling. Oh, these are getting bad. There we go. Okay. I've been putting it off long enough. I should probably get started on this shoe. Let me just finish this row. I hate leaving a row unfinished. Okay. I dislike, not hate, I dislike. I'm trying to become a little more, what's the term? Purposeful, a little more pointed, no. Purposeful is the closest word to use, but I don't think it's the most accurate one. I think there might be a more accurate word out there, but I can't remember it at the time. But I'm trying to be more purposeful in the words that I use. Because words convey a lot, and if you don't use the right ones, you're not able to express yourself as accurately as you want to, or I'm not able to express myself as accurately as I want to. Again, I'm not an advice channel. I have no authority, accolades, credits, whatever, towards giving advice. I need to bring up the shoe model. Hold on. Yeah, I was just gonna get started drawing a shoe that didn't exist for some reason. Okay, I need to do this, and then I need to do this. Ugh. Got it. Okay, now I need that works. I just do this. I need one more thing. I guess this works. Yeah, this will be fine. Okay. So this is going to be the tool used for the measurements. Now, the shoe is, and it's kind of at a downward angle, so it's one. Okay. And don't move it until I've measured it. Okay. One. Make it a little darker so I can see. Two. 3. And a half. Okay. And then it is 1 length tall. And then it is 4 lengths this way. One, two, three, and 4 it is. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so then okay. And then we just go into drawing it. Okay. Of course. Hold on. Alright, we just go into drawing it from here. I just want to make sure I didn't skip a step. From the measurement. Now, you guys won't be able to see the dots, but they are there. I might be able to make it a little bit. Yeah, see, those are the measurement dots that I'm going to be following along. So this goes like that, and then it goes like that, like that. Another little one, and then it goes to here, and from here starts to circle. That's the first shoe. And then down like that. This is going to kind of go halfway down the length. Like that. And then it's the opening of the shoe. There's a little flap, goes like this, kind of. Now these lines are going to intersect because there's laces here, but I'm trying to get this part around, because this goes a little down like that. And it comes around like this, and this is just lacing. Okay. Much better line. And then here, so this is 1, 2, yeah, okay. There's right here, middle of this one, and then not quite at that point, but right here is another little, and this has lace going like this. There's a lace going here, and it's under. And you've got this lace going like that, and then this one also is kind of going off like that. And then there's a lace going off to the side like that. Then there's another lace coming down like this, or right next to that is another one of these, and the next one, and then it goes like that. And there's a lace right there, and there's one right here, and then all the way back here, it's got a lace, and there's this little tag thing. It's got like a little stripe, and it does come down like this. Okay, oops, sorry about that. Alright, the next thing is here. Okay, and then right here, oh, there's another one. I didn't notice that, but there's a little one right here. And that's kind of where the stitching is. So there's stitching that goes all the way around to here. Kind of goes all the way here. And then there's another edge of the shoe. Kind of goes like that. And then there's kind of like a couple of different stuff with the soles going on. So just let me fix that. That's kind of what's going on with this. Oh, that's fine. And then I'll just have to remember that that's these have little divots in them. And then this is kind of like a heel, almost. Not a real heel, but an arch, I guess. Okay. So then the next thing, we have the tongue line here. I think that's the shoe. So I messed up here. This line wasn't supposed to be there. It's supposed to end right here. And that's the stitching. This is kind of, and this, it goes out. If this ended here, it would look a lot better if I hadn't done that. And this ended here too. Yeah, that would look a whole lot better and it would be a lot more accurate of a shoe. And this was also supposed to come down more right like this. Kind of like how this comes. That's supposed to go down like that. But, you know, it doesn't look weirdly out of proportion. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna show the model of the shoe real quick. But yeah, this is the shoe that I was trying to draw. So, not bad. But that is proportions, so that's kind of cool. I know this is supposed to be like a little more like not, but I wasn't really sure how to draw that. So I was expecting that to take a lot longer than it did, but I'm kind of glad it didn't because this means that I can go to bed sooner. Like, yeah, we stayed out because we had stuff that we needed to do, which is why this was a later stream. So it's kind of good that it didn't take as long because that means that I can end it a little bit sooner and get back to normal time frame tomorrow and whatnot. So if you have any ideas of what I could draw next or any other references I could look into or other people I could look at for drawing techniques and foundations of drawing, please let me know in the comments below. And if there was anything you noticed that I was doing wrong or that I could improve upon, please also let me know that as well, because that is the only way I'm going to improve. You guys are the only people whose feedback I'm going to be getting because I am doing this as a self-teaching. I'm not going to, I don't have any artistic or artist teacher or mentor or anything like that, which and who would give me feedback. So I really appreciate any feedback from you guys. And that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow. We will be doing more proportion work. And I think we're going to do that for a couple more days. I think that's really all, because it's proportion, and then I know shading, and there's 2 other things left to learn through these videos. So yeah, this is getting really, really fun, and I hope that you are also enjoying this journey with me. I know that it's a little more boring because I don't have a lot to talk about, and I also don't have any background music. I'm hoping the background music makes it less boring, but I could also take better notes, or any notes at all, and bring them with me on stuff that I've learned in the videos and that I've been learning in the books. But that comes with practice, so thank you all. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.